Hello and welcome back to Logan Sounds Off. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of the most inspirational and greatest soul records of all time, What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. Obviously, there are plenty of other albums by Marvin Gaye that would make that list. He was a very intelligent man and also very funny too, not in his lyrics wise, but in some of nearly the things that I've heard about him. He was an amazing man. And unfortunately, as you know, he's not with us today. But I'm excited to review this album because I got it. There's actually a video that I put up on my channel, my roundup of 2022, where I bought some actual records that day. And on that day, anyways, I had gotten What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, I think a Fontaine's DC record, Doggerel, their debut album, as well as the Rolling Stones' Exile on Main Street, which is one of their finest records. And you can check out my album review. Link is down in the description if you want to see my roundup of 2022 or my review of Exile on Main Street. What's Going On, when I first heard it, was just incredible, especially to have it on vinyl and to have that feel was great. And that was before I got my new record player. If you don't know, I used to have this nearly like a suitcase record player. It was really small, but I used to listen to records on it, and I bought a new one only recently with some of the money from my confirmation, and I bought an Audio Technica LP 120X USB, and I've been starting to listen to a lot of records on that. I've been buying a lot of records for it, but I only recently just went back to my record collection and found What's Going On and started to actually listen to it on a proper, nearly, you could say a proper hi-fi. And it was incredible, all the sounds that I was missing. And this, first of all, if you actually look on the album cover, on the particular version that I have, it says underneath the Tamla logo, orchestra conducted and arranged by David Van de Piet. I'm not sure, is it Depit or De Piet? I'm really sorry. Again, pronunciations sometimes isn't my strong suit. But I just want to tell you before I get into my actual review, 1971, this was released by Motown Records, and I'm not going to do this track by track, which I usually do on my other album reviews. I usually go down the list of all the tracks. On this, I'm just going to be reviewing it in general because I find that the album nearly flows into each other. It's nearly like there's a part one, which is side one, and a part two, which is side two. They could be nearly separate albums or nearly separate songs. They'd be very long. But moving on from that, side one, I'm just going to go on first because, as you know, I'm going to be talking about just it in general. And I found that there's a lot of great aspects to side one of this record. First of all, the vocals are incredible. I think Marvin Gaye is very much known for his really lovely tone of voice, very relaxed and calm, and at some points in this album nearly distressed and upset with some things, which it shows real emotion, and I really love that. That's what I love about this record, especially on side one, and we'll get to that soon. But on the first track, actually, what opens up the album really, really well is this dialogue between people, nearly like an opening recording of people at the start, where people are just greeting each other and everything. And then it comes into the song and Marvin starts to sing, obviously. And the first lyrics are really, really lovely. He nearly goes through his whole family in a way at some parts. At the start, mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. First of all, that's very upfront and very cool nearly. And it really gets you started on the album, so I really like that. And What's Happening Brother then nearly fades into that as well. But not only Marvin is a really good singer as well, the backing vocals are incredible throughout this whole record. They nearly not carry the album, but without the backing vocals, I feel like it would nearly be, there's something lost from it. Nearly. So, apart from that though, how without the backing vocals, the album would be lost. I feel. That's my personal opinion. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me. But the backing vocals are extraordinary on this. And on Save the Children, I'm not sure, is it Marvin talking in a different tone, because as I've figured out in the past little while, because I've been listening to music like full on, it's been a massive part of my life since I was 4, like. And I found that in the past couple of years, I've noticed that, because I watch a lot more interviews now, and especially spoken words as well, that sometimes if a singer can sound a certain way at a certain phase and then sing completely different in a certain time, but as well when they're talking they sound different. So there's nearly a dialogue in Save the Children. I'm not sure is that Marvin or is it somebody else, but you can definitely hear a great backing vocal throughout that whole track. Really, really good. And then you have God is Love, which is nearly like an interlude, which moves on to Mercy, Mercy Me. The ecology, I haven't come across that word before. But no, this particular side anyways, the orchestral arrangements on this side is incredible. I really, really like this side simply because of it, because it's so powerful. I think this album was pieced together perfectly, and without, let's say one of the instruments was taken away, I don't think the album would be the same. I don't think it would be up to that standard. I'm not saying that it's gone to the minimum amount of instruments, that it's like, do not change anything, it's perfect. If you go any lower or any higher, it's just going to change the whole thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the instruments nearly pitch in together and connect very well. At some parts of the record, I found it hard to nearly tell what instrument was playing. That in itself is incredible, because when you can hear, let's say, a certain instrument in a song, sometimes it sounds very blocky. This nearly flowed into each other, which I really liked. Especially on side 1, all the tracks flowed into each other perfectly, especially What's Going On and What's Happening, Brother. Save the Children and God is Love and Mercy, Mercy Me as well. They were all very much connected. And then they both connected into Flying High in the Friendly Sky. So now I'm going to move on to side 2, which starts off with a song just clocking over 7 minutes called Right On. And this is a really incredible track. Again, just like side 1, the orchestral arrangements throughout this whole side is really good, but especially on Right On, I love it. It fades in beautifully to Holy Holy. And especially when you look in the actual album sleeve and you see all the records and you start to read them, they don't seem like they're connecting very well, but they do. And I really like that. But side 2 it's very good, but it's not my favourite side. And there is one song on it that I think is better than most of the tracks on side 1, which is Inner City Blues, or Make Me Wanna Holler. I think that's better than, I'd say, half of the tracks on side 1. I really, really like that track. Very deep song, so I'm not going to get into the political aspects. But, and that's not because I'm ignorant, don't get me wrong, I do like the song for its political aspects, but I just want to focus on the music. I find this is a very good track, and I remember listening to The John Creedon Show, which is on RT Radio 1, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m, from Monday to Fridays. Even on bank holidays, you might want to check, but most bank holidays he's on the radio, which is great. I remember hearing this going to sleep, because I listen to the radio a lot when I'm going to sleep, and this song, it really makes you think. Not ideal for going to sleep, but a really good track. And usually, now moving away from side 2, because there's not really much to say. I mean, I like it, but I did prefer side 1, but I do like the backing vocals again in this. The lyricism is incredible, like top notch, really, really good. But what I wanted to focus on really quickly is soul music. Like, I think a lot of people think that's nearly relaxed music. Marvin Gaye's show has shown that really soulful, smooth tracks can be political and directed at certain things, and I really, really like that. And I admire him for that, because back in 1971, this was revolutionary in the music scene and as well for soul. If you ask anybody who is one of the greatest soul musicians ever, they will say Marvin Gaye, because he is really, really good. And apart from this, the music is incredible, but so is the actual format. I got the record in. I always talk about this on a lot of the albums that I get, because I think it's very important. It shows a family tree and the lyrics on it, which is incredible, especially when you want to delve deeper into the record. Came in a really nice sleeve for the actual record. I got on black vinyl. I didn't get it coloured in a coloured setting. But what am I going to rate this album? Because it is incredible and it's very hard to put my finger on where it kind of stands for me. I don't think I could listen to it all the time, especially like some other albums that I love. And I've got a very eclectic mix. So I just want to put it out there that when I do album reviews, I don't rate something because I think, oh yeah, that's 5 stars because everybody likes it. I genuinely like this album. I think it deserves a 5 stars. I gave 5 stars to Miles Davis, Kind of Blue, and I didn't want people to think I was just doing that because it's Miles Davis. I genuinely actually like the record. And I think that goes for a lot of the records that I review because I don't want to upset somebody by reviewing an album that I don't like. I don't want to share that kind of negative opinion. So if you think it's just me reading fives just so I can build a better connection, it is not that. It's just I genuinely like the records and I want to put out my favourite records on my channel. So What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, 5 stars out of 5. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you have it on vinyl and what kind of things you picked up on that you wouldn't pick up on in maybe the cassette version or compact disc or even digital now, streaming services and everything. But let me know your thoughts, what you like about Marvin Gaye's album. Are there any other albums that you would recommend to me by Marvin Gaye? Songs or maybe even compilations are a great thing on vinyl if you want to listen to multiple different albums on the one disc. So let me know about that in the comments below. I'd really love to hear your thoughts, and thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to share with your friends if they're into soul music or just into music in general. I do album reviews whenever I can every week on a Sunday. And as well, make sure that you give it a like. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe because it's free. You can unsubscribe anytime, but it's massive support. It really is. That one subscriber can mean an awful lot. And I just want to say, because I just hit over 4,000 subscribers a little while ago, thank you so much for all your support. If you're watching this in the future, and it might be a bit higher, sorry, but thank you so much at the moment if you're watching this at the current time in 2024. Thank you so much for all your support. I really appreciate it. So have a lovely day, and I hope you enjoyed my review of Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.